Okay, cool.
Just go.
We'll cut this out for the video, right?
Yeah.
A lot of walk on now.
You're right, Dragon people. How's it going? You're right. Yes. That's more like it.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for that bombastic intro. It was lovely. But in fairness, I'm actually feeling pretty sad this evening. Yeah, I was reminiscing about when my granddad died. Yeah, he was diagnosed with something terminal, and after the conventional treatments didn't work, we tried all sorts of alternative treatments, a bit of Reiki, acupuncture, you know, everything. He even ended up covering himself in goose fat every day. He went downhill pretty quickly after that. Knock knock. Yeah. Grandad. Oh shit! Stop the funeral. I always remember my granddad used to say to me, "John, never be too quick to find faults." Lovely man. Shocking geologist. It reminds me of my dad's working life. My old man, he had a very varied and sort of interesting working life. His fingers in many pies. It's probably why he was sacked from Greggs as well. He was actually in the Greggs documentary. It was only a small role. Yeah. I was just thinking about my first couple of jobs that I had. The first job I had was actually working at a dried fruit company. It was weird, I never really started because I was always waiting for them to give me a date. Yeah, I know. Oh no, I've lost my place. Oh yeah. And then there was that year that I was working as a cinema rusher. I don't really like to talk about it that much. It was a very dark place. Well, I got a better job after that. I got the top job at Old MacDonald's farm. I was the CIEIO. Yeah, and then I quit my job at the helium research facility because I refused to be spoken to in that tone of voice. And then I worked for a genetics team, and we successfully crossbred a crocodile and a homing pigeon. And it was fantastic work, but it'll probably come back and bite me. And then I worked for as a probation officer for many years. Actually true. Yeah. Thanks to the only probation officer in the room, Tanya, who I trained with. Oh, and Joe, and Craig. You can see why I don't do observational comedy. Yeah. Anyway, it was very weird. It was a prison visit. I was doing a report on somebody in prison, and as they were leading me across the wing, I walked past this one cell, and there was a baguette, French stick, shaped as a snake, all by itself. Obviously bred in captivity. But in fairness, I'm actually retraining at the moment as a psychoanalyst. So I think I can say with some legitimacy, how many psychoanalysts does it take to change a light bulb? 2. One to screw the bulb in, and the other one to hold the penis. No, I mean dad. No, I mean ladder. You see what I did there? That was, for those people that don't know, that's a Freudian slip. Yeah. It's when you say one thing and you mean your mother. Anyway, no, there's quite a lot of writing and written work that has to be done on this kind of program that I'm doing. It's a long 5-year thing. There's a lot of academic papers, and I'm dyslexic, so I utterly rely on writing stuff out on a computer. But I've got a bit of a software problem at the moment. So whoever has stolen my copy of Microsoft Office, I will find you. You have my word. Yeah, and as a slight aside, I noticed in the paper this morning the guy, that was basically responsible for spell check and what's the thing called? Autocomplete. There you go. Spell check, and he forgets his words. The guy who was responsible for spell check and autocomplete, he died. So, I'm sure you'll join me in offering our condolences to his family, and may he rest in peace. Yeah. But back to the point, to sort of like help me do this writing, I decided to buy myself a thesaurus. Never had a thesaurus before, but I think it's the world's worst thesaurus because it's awful, and also it's awful. Mind you, I lost it the other day, and I don't have the words to express how I feel about it. But a bit about myself. I mean, I was born in the 70s, which sounds quite nice, but I think in this day and age it's pretty worrying. Because we grew up and all the stars we used to see on the TV, like Jimmy Savile and Stuart Hall and Rolf Harris, all of those have been investigated, and rightly so. Some of them have been banged up, but with those investigations on, I tell you, I would be shitting myself if I was Finger Mouse. And then just after I'd moved out of home, it was I remember it was early 20s. I was actually kidnapped by a bunch of mime artists, and they did unspeakable things to me. I used to share a house. My first house I shared in my early 20s with a house share. It was really odd, actually. These all my mates, they were absolutely adamant that the place was haunted, and I really didn't understand what they were going on about. I mean, I'd been there for 275 years, and I didn't know. But I actually fell out with one of my mates, with Jay. We had a big argument. He basically accused me of not being a proper Cockney, so we had a bit of a barney, and I pushed him down the apples and oranges. But it was a weird street, and there was one occasion where everybody was really shocked, because it happened to be that my next door neighbour, BMW driver, sort of friend, was a serial killer. There was no indication of that. But I had fond memories of that house. I used to grow quite a lot of herbs there, and I often reminisce about the herbs I used to grow. Good times. Yeah, it was a weird thing that happened. It was a weird period where, when I used to walk down the street every single day on the same day at the same time, in the same, week after week after week, I was hit by a bike. A vicious cycle. And the funny thing was, the guy that rode it had no arms. I'm not sure of his name, but his face rang a bell. I was a bit of a tearaway back then as well, getting into all sorts of trouble over little things, terrible little things. And so if you're going to sort of start lecturing me on stealing clothes from washing lines, then been there, done that, worn a t-shirt. But I have to say also, there was that same year on Shrove Tuesday, I decided to steal a utensil to mix my pancake batter. But it was a risk I was willing to take. I remember the police came around a little bit later and knocked on the door and said to me, could we have a quick word, please, sir? I said, yeah. Velocity? I remember. Yeah, that was not a good year as well, because that was when I was diagnosed with being colourblind. I tell you, that news came out of the purple.
Keep it together.
I had a few phobias back then, and I can't say they've got any better. In fact, my fear of moving stairs is escalating. My relationships haven't been much better either, to be honest. And my first girlfriend, when we broke up, it was because astrology had come between us, tore us apart. But I would say I'm happily married now. So my lovely wife Ella is in the audience. It's been almost a year, but I can say that it's not also been a bed of roses. I mean, I remember our first massive bust up after 6 months. It wasn't good. It was over a fondue evening. I mean, what a meltdown. But we got together just before lockdown, so I have fond memories of lockdown. It's all young love and it's all great, and everybody being locked at home and having a cheeky drink at lunchtime. And then when she wasn't looking, I'd sneak in some lemonade and some fruit into a red wine. She's never been sangria. Yeah, but I'm actually a pushover. She always gets what she wants at the end. Because like the other evening, I thought she said, she wanted to go and see a Monkeys tribute band in Switzerland. And I wasn't up for that. And then I saw her face. Now I'm in Geneva. But we did get into arguments. We had one the other day. It was pretty annoying actually, because I had accused her of putting glue on my pistol collection. She denies it, but I'm sticking to my guns. A bit about my hobbies. I'm reading a book at the moment. It's a suspense book in Braille. It's gripping. And something bad's going to happen, I can feel it. But I read one before that Luke gave me actually. It's called Fights on a Narrowboat. And it's authored by R.G. Bargy. I quite like film. Apparently, my favourite actor is Al Pacino, and apparently, I hear on the grapevine he's got a new film coming out. It's about the World Knitting Championship. It's called Scarf Ace. I joined a brass band, but I borrow everybody else's instruments. I'm not one to blow my own trumpet. I write songs about sewing machines. I'm a singer-songwriter. DIY. I got a step ladder. I never knew my real ladder. And I'm trying to get into the Guinness Book of Records. I'm attempting to make the world's tightest hat. Hope I can pull it off. I tried to do a bit of indoor horticulture too. What do I know about bonsai trees? Very little. I got a few little facts for you. I think I'd at least try to sort of raise the general intelligence around the room and get you thinking about stuff. Everybody knows of the political philosopher Karl Marx, right? Yeah. Not many people know about his sister, Anya, invented the starting pistol. Uri Geller, surprisingly hard to stab. Actually, I thought today was going to go much better than it was. I've been practicing this, trying to remember it, but I should have known. Early start, first thing I find, wooden shoe in the toilet, totally clogged. And this morning, when I was getting my morning paper, I was seeing Luke buying his. Funnily, yours looked different to mine. But as I was walking in, I had some sort of crying coming from the confectionery rack. I said to the news agent, "Mate, what's that?" He said, "Oh, sorry, sir, it's a sensitive topic." And just before I arrived, just when I thought everything was good, it was a bad omen. There was a tractor going past on the tiding, and the bloke on the back shouted at me, "Everyone's going to die. The end of the world is nigh." It was Farmageddon. And on that apocalyptic note, I'm going to hightail it out. Thank you very much. You have been scintillating.
Superb! I loved every moment. Fantastic. Give it up for John. Well done.